And then you're going to take away the coordinate plane by unhighlighting it. Look at, there's a coordinate plane. I'm going to unhighlight and make it blank. And then I'm going to take away the x and y axis also. I just want a blank screen. I'm going to minimize this screen here. This way I have a big palette just to work on. I'm going to first create a segment down here. I press the button again, and it closes my segment. I'm not going to do anything else. Every time I touch the board, it just creates segments. Look at it. Every time I touch it. So I'm going to come back to my pointer. The pointer allows me to select things. So let me click that. So I'm going to erase these. Okay. So right now I'm on the pointing mode. Okay, now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a parallel line to this one. Look at the mode of a parallel line. I come right here. I can go a perpendicular line or a parallel line. And look at when I hover over a parallel line, look what the directions say. It says, select point and parallel line. Select point and parallel line. So what I got to do first is, let me get out of here. Let me make a point on top of the line I already drew. There's a point. So now I'm going to come back to parallel line, select point and parallel line. So I'm going to first select this point, I hit it, and then I'm going to hit this line because I'm telling the computer to make a parallel line just like that to this one. There it is. So I first selected the point, and then I hit this line because the computer's asking, okay, what kind of line do you want me to draw a line parallel to? It's that line. Let me do that again. Let me highlight that. So let me come back here, parallel line. I hit parallel line. I select the point that I want the parallel line to go through, and I select the line that I want the line parallel to. There it is. So now this line here is parallel to this line. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit my transversal. I'm going to create a transversal. So let me make a, here we go. Here's a line. Remember, a transversal cuts through the parallel lines. We took notes on this yesterday. Watch this. There's my transversal. Okay? So, parallel lines, transversal. Remember, a bunch of fireworks go off. We get 8 angles. Look what I'm going to do now. Let me start naming some angles and measuring some angles. I got to create a point right here and right here where the lines intersect in order to start naming some angles. Okay, watch this. So I'm making points that have angles that have 3 points in order for me to measure them. So let me move this point C over here. Okay, now I'm going to measure all these angles. Let me measure some. So I'm going to hit angle. Now it's asking, look at, select 3 points or 2 lines. I'm going to select 3 points to measure the angle. Angle D, F, C. Notice, when I said DFC, it gave me the big angle. I don't want that big angle, so let me go back and get the pointer mode and highlight this and erase it. That's not the one I want. I want this angle, DFC. So let me get the measuring angle mode again and start from C instead. C, F, D, and that's exactly the one I wanted. Let me go back to the pointer. Let me bring this up here. Now, let me make the corresponding angle. We learned about corresponding angles, so this angle here would be corresponding with this one. So let me measure that one. Check it out. Let me get the angle measure. E, G, B. That's not the one I want. It's doing the big one again, so let me highlight that and erase it and start from the other side. I'm going to start with B, B, G, E. Watch this. B, G, E, that's the one I want. And notice how both angles are exactly the same. Notice that. Notice if I move the parallel lines, look at how the angles stay the same. That's the nature of corresponding angles. Notice that.
Well, yeah, because they're parallel, no?
Well, the lines are parallel and the angles are corresponding. Okay, now, we learned about another angle yesterday called alternate interior. Let me highlight the alternate interior. Watch this. Let me measure This angle is the interior. Notice it's in between the parallel lines. It's interior, and the alternate interior would be this one, IFE. So let me measure IFE. Watch this. IFE. And look what we got. Let me bring this down over here. Look at IFE. IFE and BGE, these two angles are alternate interior. Look at this one and this one. And look at when I move the parallel lines with the transversal, they're the same. Alternate angles yesterday we learned are congruent. Corresponding angles yesterday, look at these two, are congruent. And what kind are these two? Look at these two angles. We learned this last week, and the quiz was on this. What are these two? This one and this one. What are these kind of angles? Vertical. Two lines intersecting, they're vertical. That was last week's quiz, which I'll pass back later on today. Okay, now, what we're about to learn after the warm-up, we're about to learn alternate exterior. Watch this. AGH. Look at angle AGH. Notice how angle AGH, this one, it's exterior, it's outside, this is the interior, like the house. Exterior are these. Look at this one and this one are what we call alternate exterior. They're the same. If I move these angles, look at this and this stay the same. So alternate exterior angles are congruent. Okay? So far we got corresponding, we got vertical, we got alternate interior, and we have alternate exterior. That's the third one we're going to add to our notes today. And the last one that we're going to add to our notes is, watch this, let me get the measuring mode. A, G, E, that's not the one I want. That's a big one, so let me erase that crap. So I'm going to measure, so I'm going to go E, G, A. Let me drag that number over here. Look at EGA. 64.13 degrees. These two are called consecutive interior. This is the last one we're going to write about today. These are consecutive interior. Notice they're not congruent, but there is a special relationship between the two. What do you suppose these are? 115 plus 64. What do you think these two add up to be?
180.
180. So the consecutive interiors, look at these two are supplementary, and then these two are supplementary. That's the fourth one we're going to learn today. So I'm going to keep this up here. I'm going to come back to this during our note. Okay, so if you're absent yesterday, you're going to watch the video from yesterday later. But we entitle our notes Parallelism. Go and get those out. Remember, for your second sem, you got to be taking notes here. We drew two lines that are parallel, cut by transversal. You have this picture. If you don't have the picture yet, go ahead and copy this down, Valdez. Computer's down right now, please. We have angles 1 through 8, and we named the first two. One of them was corresponding, right? So I'm going to make some arc marks. Angle 2 and angle 6 are corresponding. 1 and 5 are corresponding. Notice I'll put just an arc mark there. 7 and 3. 7, I'll put a double hash mark here. So notice, if you have an angle with the same hash marks, that's communicating to the same size. They're congruent. And then we have 4 and 8. I'll do 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are corresponding angles. And we wrote they're always congruent. Right. I'll give you about a minute. Go ahead. Go to make the hash marks there. Help me out, Valdez. Alternate exterior angles. Alternate interior are the ones I just listed, 4 and 5, and 3 and 6. That's one. We went over that yesterday. So let's check it out. Alternate means on separate sides of the transversal. So this is your transversal. Alternate means one's on the right side, one's on the left. And interior means they're inside the parallel lines. So 4 and 5 are alternate interior, and then 3 and 6. Okay? And they're always congruent. Now what about alternate exterior? I'm looking at angles outside the parallel lines and on separate sides of the transversal. So, go ahead. 1 and 8 for sure. Look at 1 is on the left side of the transversal, 8 is on the right side, and they're on the exterior. They're outside. So go to write angle 1 and 8. Very good, Mr. Esquivel. Angle 1 and angle 8, comma. Someone besides Esquivel, what's the other pair of alternate exteriors? Beautiful. We're rocking and rolling. Angle 2 and angle 7. That's it. There's 2 pairs of alternate exteriors. And these are also always, thank you.
That little sign right there.
Is congruent. That means the same degrees, right? If you have one angle that's congruent to another, that means they're same degrees. What's the matter with me? Coffee. Mayday, Mayday, I need some more coffee. Angle 2 and angle 7. Let me show you my beautiful, beautiful GeoGebra drawing. Look at this. Look at the alternate exteriors I just made a little while ago. Angle F over here and this bottom one here, they're alternate exteriors. Look at how they're the same. No matter how I draw, how I move the parallel lines, this is going to be the same as that. Alternate exterior, or actually alternate interiors would be this one and this one. Angle G and angle EFG over here. So this one and this one will be alternate interiors. Look at, no matter how I move them. They're always congruent. And last but not least, I mentioned it before the warm-up, are these two. These two and these two are called, drum roll. Where's my drum roll? Louder. Boo. Here we go. Last one's consecutive interior. Go to write those down. Last one for today. Consecutive interior angles. Sure. Consecutive interior. Consecutive means right after each other. So it's not alternate, so they're on the same side of the transversal, and they're consecutive. So they're not alternate, but they are interior. So in this case, yikes. What's going on over there? Garcia, which ones would be consecutive interior here, would you say? Which ones would be consecutive interior? Not alternate interior, but consecutive interior, what would you say? Nice. So 4 and 6, let's put 4 and 6, angle 4 and angle 6, comma. Rios, what would be the other pair?
What do you mean?
Consecutive interiors. So interiors are next to each other, and they're interior.
7 and 5.
7 and 5 would definitely be linear pair, but 7's, look at 7's not interior. 7's
3 and 5.
3 and 5. Nice. Here we go. Angle 3 and 5. Beautiful. Franco, these are always what? Close. Let me go back to my GeoGebra picture, my masterpiece. Look at this. 117.63 plus 62.37 add up to be what? So what's the name of what they call? Supplementary. Look at consecutive interiors are always supplementary, ladies and gentlemen. No matter how I move these, they're going to add up to be 180. So the word we're looking for, Franco got it perfect, is supplementary. These are always supplementary. Go right, supplementary. I'm running out of room here. Supplementary. Valdez, you're okay?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Trying to zoom in.
Come on, come on. In other words, they're always equal 180 supplementary. We did that 2 weeks ago. All right. Okay. No worries, no worries. Okay, here we go. Example 1 now. Example 1. Yeah. What? Oh, it's a warm up. Here we go. Go right at example 1. Just one example today. Copy that down. Franco, what do these arrows mean here? I see these arrows. What does that communicate? Lines are parallel. They'll go on forever, up and down, without ever touching. That's what these arrows indicate. Always remember that, please, class. Now, there's 2 missions. State the relationship and then solve for x. There's 2 things we've got to do. All right. I'm dealing with 80 degrees and I'm dealing with 5x minus 15 degrees. What would be the relationship, Garcia, would you say? They're definitely interior because they're inside the parallel lines. Alternate means one's on the bottom of the transversal, one's on the top of the transversal, either side. You knocked it out. So I'm going to write alternate. You can abbreviate ALT, INT, alternate interior. And then abbreviate the angle symbol to look at angle apostrophe S. So we're dealing with alternate interior angles. Assignment 31 that the sub will give you tomorrow that you'll be working on, everyone will be working on it tomorrow after the quiz. There's some problems that just name the relationship. Just write it like that. All right, what do we know about alternate interior angles, Esquivel? Castillo, save the day. Always congruent. It's on your notes. Look at it. So this is equal to that. Here we go. 80 equals 5x minus 15. We're rocking and rolling now. So I'm able to write this equation because I know the relationship is alternate interior angles. So the knowledge allows me to create the equation. Now let's solve for x. I'll add 15 to both sides. So I got 5x equaling 95, huh? We're rocking and rolling. Let's divide by 5. X then is help. Sounds good to me. Mission accomplished. We've solved for x and we stated the relationship. Beautiful. Okay, last thing. This is not an example. Let me just show you what you're going to do to your own GeoGebra masterpiece. Don't worry, don't worry. It's fun. It's fun just getting to know this. Watch this. I'm going to go ahead and add some text. Watch this. I'm going to start numbering some of these angles. I'm going to number this angle 1. I press OK. And look at, here's angle 1. I can move the, here's angle 1 right here. I'm going to name this angle 2. Look what I'm doing. Here's my angle 2 right here. Again, the text is right here. It had slider on it. But what I'm going to do is I just went to text, okay? Let me highlight this one at angle 3. Because I'm going to make 4 statements. For today's second stamp, you got to give me your parallel lines cut by transversal, and you got to give me a pair of each of the four that we learned from yesterday and today. Corresponding alternate interior, alternate exterior, and consecutive interior. Look what I'm going to do now. So this is angle 3. Come on. And here's angle 4. So here's angle 4 right here, angle 2 right here. And I'm going to need some alternate interiors here, so let me name this one angle 5. Come back over here. 5. Press OK. So look what I'm going to do now. So I got my angle set up. So I'm going to write 1 and 5 are corresponding. I'm going to write 2 and 5 are alternate interior. I'm going to write 3 and 1 are alternate exterior. And I'm going to write 2 and 4 are consecutive interior. All in one little paragraph. Here's what I'm saying. Watch. Watch. So the 4 that we learned, Rio, check it out. Angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding. First sentence, look at that. What about the alternate interiors? Watch this. Angle 1 and angle 5. No, actually angle 2, my bad. And angle 5 are alternate interior. 2 down, 2 to go. What was the third one called? Alternate exterior. So I'm going to hit 1. Look at 1 and 3 are alternate exterior. So watch this. Angle 1 and 3 are alternate exterior. And last but not least, consecutive interior. That would be 2 and 4. Remember, these are supplementary. Angle 2 and 4. Just 4 sentences, please. Come on, Garcia. Consecutive interior angles. Nice, Garcia. Here we are. Yay. That was cool. That's strange. Because I'm doing it. Oh, here we go. The okay, duh. There you go. This is your finished product. 2 parallel lines. I think I'm going to extend this one. It makes it look prettier. Okay? We have about, let's see, it's 150, 146 right now. We have a good half hour. That's plenty of time to get this puppy done. At least have it almost done and you get your second stamp. Okay? Many of you already have your Chromebooks. We're good to go. I would say good luck. Good luck.